Happy Monday, friends! I have good news to share with you this morning. Thanks to newly passed legislation, the distribution of new state stimulus checks is beginning. Many American households will qualify for over $1,000 and even be able to receive double payments. But dear friends, there are certain requirements that you will need to meet. So please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for everything that you need to know. Also, this Friday and every Friday, I will be announcing winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My dear friends, please make sure that you enter these giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. After spiking to the highest level in 40 years, inflation has eased significantly. That has helped lower the pressure on American households and businesses that are straining to meet the rising costs of groceries, car payments, plane tickets, office equipment, and everything in between. But falling inflation does not mean that prices are returning to pre-crisis levels. Policymakers are fighting to keep prices from rising too fast. But even if prices are not going up as rapidly as they were, a gallon of milk or a new home will cost a lot more than it did 3 years ago. July's Consumer Price Index data was just released, showing a 0.3% increase in grocery prices. The rise was primarily attributed to the higher cost of beef products. The price of uncooked beef roast surged by 6.5% in just 1 month. The vegetables and fruit index increased by 0.4%, while the index for dairy and related products increased in July, after decreasing in each of the previous 4 months. According to Wells Fargo, agriculture economist Michael Swanson, he stated, higher beef prices are a result of the aftermath of one of the worst droughts in the Southwest and the sell-off of all the cattle.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the gentleman from Arkansas for letting me be part of this conversation today. Madam Speaker, as you understand, I rise in support of SJ Resolution 24, which is an effort to disapprove the endangered listing of the northern long-eared bat by the Fish and Wildlife Service. As you just heard, I'm chairman of the Western Caucus, and I can tell you that I know firsthand how radical environmental groups will unfortunately, weaponize the Endangered Species Act in an attempt to end development of resources in our country and prevent responsible forest management. This is just beyond the pale that these groups will do that, impacting communities around our country. The northern long-eared bat, it exists in 37 states in the United States, ranging from eastern Montana all the way to South Carolina and up to the state of Maine. Last year, at the urging of some of these groups, Fish and Wildlife uplisted the bat from threatened to endangered. But as you've heard, the decline is not due to any human activity. It's rather an incurable fungal disease known as white nose syndrome. Even the Fish and Wildlife Service themselves in the uplisting stated that the white nose syndrome is the main threat to the bat, meaning that the endangered status will do little, if anything, to recover the population. Instead, what I will bet will happen, you can rest assured will happen, forest management will be further restricted. Infrastructure projects, the chairman mentioned solar farms, wind farms, all kinds of infrastructure projects on both public as well as private lands will be hampered, slowed, or even stopped with additional, unnecessary, and burdensome regulations. This administration continues to ignore our nation's farmers, ranchers, and landowners in favor of these radical groups. So this resolution, I think, is critical to preventing government overreach, and I will continue to push for common sense reform to the Endangered Species Act alongside my colleagues on our ESA working group. And with that, Madam Speaker, I urge all of my colleagues to support this CRA.
The western United States, including states like California, Nevada, and Arizona, has been especially at risk of drought due to its arid climate. In recent years, the western United States experienced severe drought conditions, exacerbated by decreased precipitation and much higher temperatures. A quarter of the country remains in drought conditions. Droughts have severe effects on agriculture as water shortages lead to reduced crop yields and livestock losses. So as farms rebuild their livestock, plenty of feed must be taken into account. Grain prices have also increased by 25% over the last 3 years, making this aspect much more expensive and slowing down the production of cattle. CNN News reported back in April that prices remained high over winter and spring, despite consumers cutting back on beef products. This led to a slower demand, which has now gone into summer. But the good news is that there are many states that want to help their residents. New Mexico stands out among these regions, offering dual stimulus payments in 2023 to its residents. For New Mexico residents, the primary determinant of eligibility for these dual stimulus checks is state residency. In New Mexico, there are 2 types of stimulus checks, one designated for taxpayers and the other for individuals not required to file tax returns. Eligible taxpayers in New Mexico are entitled to a stimulus check amounting to $500. For married couples who have filed joint returns, the opportunity to receive up to $1,000 presents a significant financial boost. Individuals in New Mexico who are not obligated to file tax returns can also claim relief payment. The value of these checks also range from $500 to $1,000, depending on the recipient's marital status. The crisis upended where people wanted to live. That triggered a massive reshuffling in demand for apartments and other rentals, driving up rents from Tampa, Florida, to Phoenix, Arizona, to Austin, Texas. On top of that, there still are not enough affordable places for everyone to live in. It is a problem that will not be solved until millions more units become available. For more than a year, shelter costs, especially rent, have made up a major share of inflation in the U.S. economy. And even though there are signs that rents are finally falling from their crisis highs, they are not expected to return to pre-crisis levels. Rent in June was up 0.5% compared with May, and a steep 8.3% over 2022. Gasoline prices are one of the more direct ways that people feel inflation, and they see it on gas station signs wherever they go. Gas prices usually tend to rise in the summer as more Americans hit the road. The average cost of a gallon of gasoline topped $5 per gallon last summer, and the government even tapped into the emergency reserves. But now that energy prices have fallen drastically, that has helped bring down overall inflation. Well, my beautiful and my most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this morning. Thank you so much, friends, for being part of this community and for being here every single day. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday and every Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My friends, please make sure that you enter these giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you so much and have a wonderful and very blessed week.